All right, there we go. We are live. We'll give it a couple minutes here to get some people on here. What's going on tonight, guys? Let me get this posted in the Facebook groups. What's going on tonight, Dan?
Well, we got some interesting news with the market. We'll talk about in just a few minutes. Some new updates and everything. We got, we got some interesting stuff. We got some haters out there. Like Robert doesn't really like. Does the heck with Bitcoin?
I think we're
crap. Hey, they're on Bitcoin there, Robert. I'm not sure what happened, but I get it,
man. Oh, Dan, you're lagging out a little bit there, I think.
No, can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, you were lagging out on us a little bit, so we only caught part of it.
Oh, what the heck? I just said, hey, to each their own. The market, it is what it is.
Well, the good news, yeah, and the good news is, I mean, the markets today it's looking pretty good, and that's the roller coaster ride that is crypto right there. Oh, we've got a Pat Mobile fan. You might be a little bit disappointed there, Pat Mobile fan, because I've got a follow-up review of Pat Mobile. We did a reaction video of it, I don't know, like a week ago or something, and we've had a chance to look into it. Personally, I'm not impressed. To each their own. But for me, it's I think it's one that gets shilled a lot in groups, and that's why we covered it, because a lot of people talking about it. I think they have a ton of bots on YouTube and social media going out and just shilling the shit out of it. But I don't think that it's, personally, I don't think it's like I don't think it's anything I'm going to invest in for sure. But hey, to each their own. If you can make money on it, by all means, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, and you were talking about, welcome, like you were saying earlier, welcome to, cryptocurrency. It's going to have its ups and its downs, and that's what you got to remember. When a lot of people joined in, it was always good. Everything was amazing. 20% gains, it seemed like every day. That's just not realistic all the time. So you got to learn to ride those bad waves, ride the bad times and know when to pull out and when to invest more.
Well, and speaking of the ups and downs, we're actually Derek's going to be on here in a few minutes. He's putting his daughter to bed right now, but Derek's going to come on and talk about what's going on with the charts. We are going to be dropping some videos this week with some technical analysis. We've had people asking about it, wanting to know a little bit more about TA. So not something that I'm necessarily an expert in or anything like that. But there's a lot of other people out there smarter at that type of stuff than Dan or I, and that's when we bring them in to kind of show what they're seeing with the charts and everything, because that definitely has its place with all of it. So he'll be doing some videos for that, and he's going to be on here in a little bit. We're going to let him kind of talk about what's going on in the charts. I know he was pretty bullish earlier today on what's going on. Obviously, the market looks much better today. Compared to what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. It's hard to say. Will we see a six-figure Bitcoin like many were predicting, myself included, prior to this big drop-off that we had? I still personally think that we will. Depends on who you ask. I personally believe that we will. I'm curious to see what Derek's take on it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So Buffett says, buying the dip has never failed. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It's never the dip that's going to hurt you. It's that when it shoots way up and you get piggish and you want to hold on to everything. Kyle knows exactly how that is. Tron circa 2017.
I mean, hey, I'll be honest. I'm moving forward as we go back bullish. I'm reconsidering some of my strategy on it, because I kick myself now. I'm always one that talks about take profits when they're there, and I didn't take my own advice on some of the projects that I should have taken profits on sooner. So I'm going to be a big proponent, at least personally, moving forward with my portfolio. Doesn't mean I'm pulling it out of crypto. Just means be willing to take profits maybe a little bit quicker. Lock in those profits. It's never a bad idea to take profit. And I did it some, but maybe not enough. And that's one of those. Again, it's a learning experience. Nobody expected the big dump when it happened and everything. But I do feel like we've stabilized. We'll see. But I do feel like for the last couple of weeks, we really have kind of been getting a lot of sideways action, especially with Bitcoin and everything. And I know, like I said, Derek's going to have some thoughts on, kind of what's going on, what you can see in the charts and everything. But, for me, that's definitely been one of those things where, just going back and kind of, looking at the portfolio and looking where I bought and where I could have sold and locked in some really nice profits, and don't get greedy on that type of stuff, because it never works out in anybody's favor if you get too greedy, because you're never going to win that way.
Absolutely.
John's here. What's going on, John? So, guys,
John, how you doing, buddy? I did. Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, while we're waiting for Derek to come on, guys, if you have questions, throw them up in there. And then the other thing that Dan and I are going to announce, and we'll probably talk about it a little bit more at the end of the stream here. Dan and I are going to be doing some trivia. So we've got another brand new channel that we're going to be launching on Wednesday that's all dedicated to trivia. So anybody that's a trivia buff out there, if you just have random ass knowledge like I do, and you enjoy just like weird facts and stuff like that, you definitely want to join in on it, because we're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's going to be more of a little bit less serious and just more laid back and fun. We've got a really, really cool software that we've been working with that'll keep score for us and everything, and we'll have a leaderboard and everything. We're going to have some really, really cool prizes too. So we'll drop the link.
So John,
we'll drop the link for that at the end of the stream.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. That's going to be on Wednesdays at 9:30, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Every Wednesday at 9:30. So John, I did get your message. So John tried getting our course, Kyle. We had a crypto course, and we had some issues with it getting up on the platform, and
Yeah.
we just need to get it to him. So I got your message last week, John. Honestly,
yeah,
it was a crazy week and a half. We had a lot of things we had going on, so I do apologize, but we'll get that to you. We'll get him. I just told him we'll get it to him, and
yeah, we'll get all the videos to you, John. Yeah, so it's so basically, long story short for that was the company Stripe, which I'm not going to lie, they are a pain to deal with. They're the credit card company that does everything. They actually flagged the account on that for, I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was basically like they don't allow courses that teach people how to get rich quick or anything, which is funny because literally nothing in there talked at all about trading or anything like that, or making X amount of dollars. It was all literally just basic crypto knowledge of how to look for certain things, how to do some research on different projects, and some tools that you're going to want to help you out with it and everything. So I don't know. It was really funny. We tried appealing it, and yeah, probably because it's Stripe, credit cards, and they know that credit cards are a thing of the past. I think that's what it is, personally.
That must be what it is.
It's the same reason the banks are fighting it like crazy right now. Like, guys, there's a reason banks have not. There's a reason that banks have not just accepted crypto and started to try to bring it into the fold on their end and everything. I mean, they are fighting it tooth and nail, but I'm telling you, there's no stopping it. It's inevitable. It's like Thanos. It's inevitable. John says, all good. Thank you. Absolutely. Not a problem.
So,
Buffett says he should have taken his profits. I agree. Like I said, I kick myself on certain projects, Chainlink being one of them. I for one, am, massively bullish on Chainlink. Excuse me. I think it's going to be worth hundreds of dollars. When it got to 50, I bought it at 5. To me, that's being greedy right there. It got to 50, and I just was like, I think it's getting into the hundreds. I'm going to let it ride. Why not cash some of that out at 50 And if I want to buy back in, that's fine. But wait for it to dip back down. I mean, I'm still way up on it, but well, I bought some of it at 3, some of it at 5, and I think some of it at like 6 or something. But so I mean, I'm still way up on it. But it's like, that's when I kick myself on, because had I just taken profits, I could have bought way more.
Yeah. It's the tale as old as time when it comes to investing. Everyone wants to hold out just because it's that hope. You hope it can get just a little bit more, a little bit bigger. And that's when you really should know, you need to know when to pull some, at least some of it. So Luis said, would it be greedy for me to hold Ethereum to 25K?
It's a good question. It depends. I guess I think it depends on how high you believe it's going to go. Personally, there's some people that are saying, ETH this year is going to get to 35, 40K. I've never quite thought it would get that high. I do think, with the right circumstances, again, this is pending the market getting back to the way it was, and we see a big explosion, which is still very possible. If that happens, I was one who thought ETH would get to 20K or more anyway. So we'll have to kind of wait and see where that goes. For me, I think kind of restructuring what I'm doing, there's going to be certain price targets where I will take some out. Long term, to me, Bitcoin and ETH are definitely two that I plan on, long terming it. I'll take my profits on it now, but those are ones that you absolutely want to be buying back in when it does dip back down, because those are going to be the first two during the next run that are going to pop, and those are going to be the two safest ones, I think, during the bear market, because by the end of this, ETH will be a household name, just like Bitcoin is. There's a reason that Bitcoin still controls the market. You ask 10 people what's cryptocurrency, half of them at least are not going to have any clue what it is. However, if you ask them what Bitcoin is, probably 80% of them at this point know what Bitcoin is.
They at least heard of it. They might not know what it is, but they've heard of it.
Who in crypto hasn't been burned by Ripple at one point? I do think things have been looking better for Ripple in terms of, I think it's been looking better, especially with the whole SEC lawsuit and everything. I do think that the things are looking better for Ripple. It's going to be interesting. I think if they come out of that unscathed, or if they just decide to settle, pay a fee, and be done with it, Ripple could get back up into that top 3. It's going to be hard for them to pass Binance Coin or Cardano at this point, but I wouldn't rule it out. They actually at one point were number 2 for a very short period of time over ETH.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mitch says no one to pull out.
You know what? He's not wrong, though. That's for sure. And it is still early. I think, what do you think, Kyle? There's probably another 3.5, 4 months before you think you're going to notice any downward trends. I think
I think so. I mean, I was going to say, historically, looking at the time frames for each one. Now, there's some people saying that the run is over right now. It would be the shortest bull run in Bitcoin history. Again, is it possible? It is. I mean, that's why it's smart to, as Derek would say, set stop losses, and it's smart to just monitor your portfolio each day and keep an eye on what's going on with the price action. However, I think that I think we still have time left. I do. I think that it's not where I would like it to be right now. However, I still think that Bitcoin's got the legs to get to 6 figures. I really do. I think ETH has the legs to easily get over 10K. All these different things that we've kind of been talking about anyway, I think that they all still have the potential to do it. Cardano, I think potentially could be a $10 one by the end of the year. It might be a little bit tough now. $5 to $6 might be more realistic. However, again, if we just go absolutely crazy at the end of this market, things could get interesting. And guys, here's the other thing. It always cracks me up because literally, we watch all sorts of different crypto videos and, read different articles and all this. Guys, anybody that tells you that they know exactly what's going to happen has no clue. Dan actually had a perfect analogy for it the other day. Anybody that's ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street, the scene in the restaurant with Leo and Matthew McConaughey, where Matthew McConaughey is basically saying it doesn't matter if it's Warren Buffett or Warren Beatty, if it's going sideways, up, down, in circles, nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis. And, especially in crypto, it's unpredictable.
Yep, absolutely. The ones who say they do they're honestly full of shit. You might have a good idea. Of course, we have a good idea, but you don't ever know for sure. There's never a sure thing.
Right. Well, and it's funny because they're the same people that they have one stance on something, and then all of a sudden that stance changes very, very quickly. And there's a lot of deals where that happens, where everything is great, and then all of a sudden it's doom and gloom, and they were just telling you 2 days earlier Bitcoin was going to be $1 million by the end of the year, so, and then all of a sudden it's going down to next to nothing. So just, as always, guys, do your own research. I think that's the most important thing, is follow the market, keep an eye on what's going on, watch your portfolio like a hawk, because at the end of the day, you work too hard for your money. And you don't want it to be something where you're investing in bad projects. You also don't want it to be something where, don't wait till it's too late. And we'll keep you guys posted as far as what we see. I see no reason to believe that the bull run is over. I think that it was call it a correction, call it a, dip, call it a crash, whatever you want to call it. But I think ultimately that it's going to go back on. And actually, as we were talking about earlier, there he is. What's up, Derek?
I made it, man.
Derek, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
We gotta get Derek a cool Star Wars crypto name. All right, Derek, you tell us what's going on with the charts right now, and Dan and I are gonna ponder what your name can be.
Well, I'm still kind of waiting for it to pop out a little bit more, honestly. We finally are getting to the 42K, which is where I really want to be with Bitcoin.
What do you think when it hits 42? What are you thinking?
We're gonna reset. It'll be a reset. We're gonna reset everything, and then we're gonna go only up from there. I think one thing that is not talked about a lot that is going to happen with ETH is Ethereum's got a bunch of options that are going to expire in 11 days. And that's going to affect it depends. I haven't really paid attention to whether they're short or long-term options. Short, obviously, they're expecting it to be a loss. Long, they're expecting it to be a gain. So I haven't looked at percentages to really get an idea as to which way it's going to go. But that is one thing that I have on my list of things to get done this week, is figure that out, because we've got 11 days before that hits.
Before we go any further, I just came up with a name for him. So, what about Darth Ravencoin?
That'll work.
If there is Darth Raven.
Yeah.
And there is a Ravencoin.
I like it. I'm used to being on my.
We might be able to do better, but for now, that's what we'll go with. So, Derek, in your opinion, we were talking about this a little bit before you got on. Does Bitcoin hit six figures before the end of this cycle?
Yeah, this cycle hasn't even started. We're just getting geared up. I mean, if you look at 2017, the cycle didn't really get pumping until October. We're not even in July yet.
How high do you think?
I'm thinking 100, 120.
Okay.
Still not bad. Guys, considering right now it's at 40, not bad. Here's the thing. There's a lot of interesting stuff coming out, and we made a video on this the other day talking about MicroStrategy, basically loaning out, or basically having rounds of company debt. People could buy company debt in order to fund more Bitcoin purchases. They had to increase what they were doing because the demand for it was so high. So MicroStrategy is going in and buying a ton of Bitcoin right now. There's rumors out there about Walmart. We've been talking about that for a while. There's rumors out there about Facebook. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there right now that there's rumors that they're going to be jumping in at some point. We had all that FUD that just kept on coming and coming and coming. For a couple of weeks, it seemed like everything was bad news after, a long period of good news. I mean, we had a long time where there was nothing but good news in the crypto markets. I mean, in all reality, it was just like good news after good news after good news. We finally get some bad news, and it shakes out a lot of the weekends, shakes out a lot of the newbies and everything. People get scared, and hey, I get it. If you bought in at the top and all of a sudden you saw your investment half almost overnight, that's pretty scary. I get it. But in my opinion, not professional advice, never is, but especially Bitcoin and ETH, hold on to those things for dear life, because I think that you're going to be very, very happy if you do. And I know, like I said, I think I said last time, there's 5 or 6 that I'm really, really trying to continue to keep adding to. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano for sure. I love VeChain, so I'm trying to get more VeChain, Chainlink, and then I would put Polkadot in there, and maybe Binance as well. I think those 6 or 7, to me, are the most solid ones on the board personally. I mean, what are your thoughts, Derek?
I'm really big on Solana.
I do love Solana too. I think that's a great point. I think the smart contract platforms, if anything has been proven, whether you're looking at crypto, whether you're looking just in the stock market in general, I mean, guys, the tech companies are the ones that went out, and in crypto, the smart contract platforms are the ones that always seem to rise to the top. I mean, you look at Ethereum, you look at Binance Smart Chain, you look at Cardano, you look at Polkadot, literally half the top 10 is contract platforms. Solana's not that far behind. You start looking at projects like Polygon, which has been crushing it. It's an Ethereum solution. Okay, it's a solution to help scalability issues. You start looking at a lot of these. Elrond, another great project. I mean, there's so many good smart contract platform projects. I think ultimately those may be the safest bet. I know all the craze was NFTs and stuff like that, but I think ultimately smart contract platforms are really a sound investment personally.
And I heard you talking about how you're resetting, and I think that's really important for us. I think, especially in the last, what has it been, 4 weeks, we've really need to open our eyes. I think one of the worst things that's kind of happened to us was, and people are going to make fun of me, but I think Dogecoin was the worst thing that's happened, and it's not because of it being a meme coin. It's because people think that you can make money so fast and that it's going to be normal. And that's what we love about crypto is you can have explosions here and there, but it's not a norm.
Yes.
A 5x is amazing. I mean, 20% over a year is amazing. So when you're doing 5x, you're doing good.
Well, that's what we were talking about right before you gotten on. I said, one of the things that, because we talked about taking profits, and Dan said he's like, Kyle knows all too well, Tron circa 2017, and I said, honestly, Kyle circa May, June of 2021. For me, I held on to certain things. I knew I should have sold some of them, not to get it out of crypto, sell them to wait until it dipped back down, because there were certain ones, I threw out there. Chainlink. I love Chainlink. I think Chainlink is going to be massive. I think it's going to be worth in the hundreds of dollars, if not during this cycle, especially during the next cycle. I really think it has the potential to be worth thousands at some point. Right now it's sitting at like $25. It got up to 50 or 51 or 52, whatever it was. And I kicked myself for not taking profits when they were there. So, I think that's an important thing that Derek just talked about is, don't be afraid to take profits, but also I think he's absolutely right on, Dogecoin. I don't know. There's two sides to it. It can be great because it does get people into the market and it brings more volume into the market. But I think he's absolutely right too about the fact that it gives people the wrong idea and the wrong mindset of what crypto is and how you make money in crypto.
I'm not sure what happened to my camera, so I'm trying to fix it. But
oh, you're good. You're good.
You're good.
Let's see. Luis says, I think we are going to 160K at least on Bitcoin. Hey, that would be amazing. You know, like I said, does anybody truly know what the exact amount's going to be? No. You know, we can take very, very educated guesses based on, you know, like with Derek reading the charts and stuff like that, and doing all that. You can make very, very educated guesses on it and very good, you know, hypothesis, or, you know, if you will. But nobody knows exactly like what the exact price target is going to be or anything like that, because there's so many. It's still such a brand new market. It's very tough to, you know, hey, nobody expected all the stuff that came out about Bitcoin, all the FUD that kept on coming out, one right after the other of it.
Absolutely.
Jordan says Ethereum in the long. Absolutely. I have to keep Doge. Who knows? Hey, you know, that's the thing. That's the beauty of crypto is, you know what? You know, as we've talked about in some of our recent videos, you know, we invest a very, very small portion of our portfolios into those long shots, because you never know. Hey, like Derek said, I think 5x is that's a phenomenal return. Doesn't matter what you're investing in, that's a phenomenal return. I think there's a place for those 100x, 1000x potential projects. I wouldn't put your entire portfolio into it, but you know, like Jordan said, you know, hey, who knows? You're absolutely right. You know what? It could get a huge pump as the market, you know, starts looking good. And you know, it's funny. We were talking about it the other day, how the market sentiment changes so quickly with crypto. And you know, you look at it today, and all of a sudden, everybody, whether it is social media or other YouTube channels or anything like that, all of a sudden, the last like 2 to 3 weeks, it's been just negativity after negativity in terms of what people are saying and what they're covering and stuff. And then all of a sudden, the market's looking a little bit nicer today, and everybody's excited and positive about it and everything. So it's really funny how quickly sentiments change. Yep. Within the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Derek, you still with us?
I'm here. I'm just having video problems.
No, you're good.
So as long as we're good without video, we can keep going.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're fine. So if you had one that you're targeting right now that is on your radar in terms of like, if you had a top project to invest in right now, obviously guys, it's not professional advice or anything like that, but if you had, looking at the charts, what has the most potential for, you know, let's say out of the top 20 to 50 cryptos, what has the most potential right now based on what you're seeing and what you're tracking?
Okay, so I'm trying, like, as far as like, I really wanted to focus in on getting my portfolio down to ones I feel strongly about and try to follow mine, because I really think it's important to get to know what you're invested in and not just a little bit of everything. And so the one that I chose that I really feel strongly about is Luna.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's if you look at the price of it now and its highest point, and where it can go compared to where it's at, I think that it's the most impressive to me. I think VeChain is right up there. I don't know. I mean, but that's more based on where I think it can go, not where it's been. Based on where it's been, Luna's is where I've put a lot of my money.
Sorry, I swallowed the water down the wrong pipe. I'm having like a coughing attack here. No, I agree. I do love Luna. And actually, I don't know that we've talked about Luna much on the channel at all, but I really like that as a project. I think it's a great project. It's easy to get. So it's definitely something that it's going to always have a lot of volume attached to it, because it is something that's very easy to get your hands on. It's available on a lot of exchanges, and it's a great project. Actually, I haven't even looked recently. What is it sitting at right now for a price?
615.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's.
I mean, its highest point was just under 25.
I was gonna say that's been well over 20 at one point. So yeah, I mean, you're sitting at like a 4.5x from where it's
Yeah.
at right now. Wow. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I
I
mean,
think
and again, stop losses on these things is what I'm going to preach and preach and preach and preach about, because you would be when everything went down, if you had had stop losses in place, you could have gained 40% of your coin back by just buying back in at the bottom level again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, and guys, like I said earlier, Derek's got some technical analysis videos that we're going to be releasing later this week. Maybe one of them tomorrow, but for sure later this week we're going to be releasing them, and we're going to be going over all that stuff. I know there's a lot of people out there probably maybe a little bit confused about what stop losses are. He's got some instructional videos kind of showing basics of getting into trading, getting into learning some technical analysis, so that, like we've said on here before, eventually the market will go bearish. I don't think it's gonna, not at least for the next 3, 4, 5 months. I don't see it going bearish. I really think that we're going to go back bullish. But even as it turns bearish, or even in a time like we've had over the last 3, 4 weeks where there hasn't been a lot of good news going on and it has been bearish, you can still make a lot of money during that. There's definitely still ways to make a lot of money. And hey, at the same time, you get to learn a new skill set that might be some fun to learn, and can make you a lot of money in the process too.
Well, and that's what's nice is that if we can start with the basics, if we can start with stop losses and just learning as we go through these charts together, then we're going to minimize our loss. Like, I mean, just so I've taken most of my portfolio and I've put it on Binance, because Binance is the easiest for me to put my stop losses in and me not even have to think about or worry about it. So like let's just take one. Let's just take VeChain, for instance. My stop loss is as soon as it hits 10 cents, 100% of my portfolio will be cashed out. That's about a 7% loss where I bought in. So at the very worst that's going to happen in my portfolio in VeChain is once I hit 10 cents, it'll sell everything out, and then I can take a deep breath, get a new game plan, and figure out where my buy-in is going to be and go back at it again. But as the chart grows, and I'm going to raise that 7% barrier as it continues to change, and then pretty soon I'm going to start taking profits out, and my stop loss is going to be higher than my original buy-in. So now I'm playing with house money, because if it drops below my stop loss, I'm in the money no matter what. And that's where it really becomes fun, is with a stop loss in place that no matter what happens, you're going to be winning with your money.
Yeah. Well, I agree, and I think that's really smart. And I know we talked about this on a previous one too. And I think another really smart thing is you had talked about the importance of understanding that, guys, you don't have to have 20, 30, 40% gains every single trade that you do. There's nothing wrong with taking profits early, and taking a smaller gain on it. There's nothing wrong with a 7 or 8 or 10% gain or something like that on it, because consistency is the biggest key. You knock a few of those out, every day, every other day, every week, however often you're trading, you knock off, some smaller gains. That adds up really, really quickly. You start adding that up. Think about if you were making, I know Derek had talked about it, making 10 to 15% every 2 days. Okay. Might not sound like a ton to some people. However, you start compounding that over a year, and yeah, you just made a shit ton of money.
And if you think about, you're increasing the amount of coin that you have. Take the dollar amount out of it.
Yeah.
You're increasing the amount of coin that you have by 10, 20%, even if it's every week. Well, then as the coin value goes up and you've increased by 40%, you literally could have made yourself $100,000.
Right. Right. And I think that's something that's not talked about a whole lot, because, it's a foreign concept to a lot of people, and it's something we're so ingrained in talking based on the US dollar that sometimes people don't think about that from the other angle of it. It's the same way when we talk about, thinking of like Ethereum, for instance, as it pertains to its value against Bitcoin. People don't think like that because, again, we're kind of ingrained in, ETH is worth $2,500 and it is what it is. Well, not necessarily. What's its value against Bitcoin, and what's not only the Bitcoin dominance on the market, but what's the Ethereum dominance on the market? Because those two they go hand in hand. All right, guys, we got anything else? I know Dan just messaged me and said that his computer crapped out on him. So we got one with a camera down, one with a computer down. So we're betting 1,000 tonight.
I will get mine fixed. I've been at the office most of the time, but I'll get this fixed.
No, you're good. We're gonna end it here in a few minutes anyway. I know you've probably got some stuff you want to get done tonight. I got some stuff I want to get done, and I know, like I said, we're gonna be releasing some of Derek's technical analysis stuff later this week, maybe tomorrow. If not, then definitely by the end of the week for sure. And then we talked about it really briefly at the very beginning, but guys, anybody that is interested, Dan and I are launching another new channel called Trivia Vice. So anybody that's a fan of trivia, it's not going to be about any specific topic or anything like that. It's literally going to be just random stuff. Now, there might be certain nights where we'll do like a specific topic, like there might be a Star Wars trivia, or a basketball trivia, or a football trivia, or whatever the topic may be, music, different things like that. But then there's going to be some nights where it's just random knowledge, and we'll have different rounds. And each round, maybe round 1 will be sports, round 2 will be music, round 2 will be movies. So we have a new software that we're using for that'll keep track of all the scores. We'll have a leaderboard. We're going to do some pretty sweet prizes too. So anybody that is interested, if you go to YouTube, look up Trivia Vice. That's going to be the name of the channel. And look for us on Facebook as well. Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be going live with it. And Mike says a Cedar trivia. You know what? We might need to have one, Mike. If Cedar Sense is interested in sponsoring the show, we might need to.
Oh, he would definitely come up with a full category's worth of questions for you.
So, no, guys, definitely, like I said, definitely check that out. I'll drop a link for the channel in there. It's actually an old channel that Dan and I started. We were going to do movie reviews on it, but we actually, we've been having a lot of fun testing out this new software on it and everything and playing around with it. So, anybody that wants to subscribe to that, like I said, we're going to be doing it on Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to give out some pretty sweet prizes. So I don't know if we'll be giving them out Wednesday or if we're going to have like a little bit of a competition. We'll have like a leaderboard type of thing. We were actually playing around with the idea of doing it kind of like anybody that's a NASCAR fan. I'm not necessarily like a NASCAR fan, but I live like 5 minutes from Watkins Glen, so I kind of have to be like a NASCAR fan because of that. And they do like the chase for the cup type thing. So we might do something similar to that. We might do a chase style thing too. So either way, it's going to be a good time. Derek, you got anything else?
I'm looking at the chart, and so I think the biggest thing that we've got to understand is that we think we've taken a step back, but in reality, we're sitting right around the same point we were in the middle of February. So we've maybe lost what we would think is 4 months, but we've gained a lot of knowledge, and the market's getting ready to go up again. So don't freak out. Just stay strong. If we would have started out and just held, then you're going to win. Everybody, if you would have just held and not bought and sold like a lot of people have done, you'd be up 3x in the last 6 to 9 months on most coins. So look at the big picture when the small picture is going crazy, and you get a lot better of understanding. Again, we'll go over stop losses. Guys, do a little bit of homework for yourself. Understand what support is. Understand what resistance is. I've put some of that stuff into videos, just what should be common terms that isn't so common, just so we are all understanding what we're talking about, because that's going to help us understand these charts a lot better for all of us. And you'll start to see what we're talking about when we talk about higher highs and lower lows, and hitting that resistance and what it means to break resistance and how important that is and what that sign means. I mean, what I'm looking and just in closing before we get off, I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, and it's dancing right on that 40 line, the 40,000 line. It's at 40,200 right now. But just looking at some of the other indicators, my guess is we're going to get to 42 by tomorrow. It's in a portion where it's a safe purchase zone. So for it to be in a safe purchase zone after it just went up, 5,000 in the last day and a half, then that's a pretty big deal. So
yeah, I think, you know what, guys, if you missed out on it before, you didn't really miss out on it. You know what, you get a second chance to be able to buy Bitcoin, I would say, on the cheap compared to where it's going. And really a lot of these top altcoins, you know, always be smart with what you're investing in. Obviously, Bitcoin and ETH should comprise a majority of your portfolio. And as always, never invest more than you can afford to lose. Okay, be smart with what you're investing. Don't go out and put all your, you know, your entire portfolio into, you know, PAP Mobile or, you know, one of these other projects or anything like that. Be smart about what you're putting your money into, and
take the emotion out of it. Because if you say, you know, if it drops down to 35, I'm buying, and then it hits 35, you're like, it's going to get to 28, I'm waiting, and then it goes back up to 40, you're just screwing with your own mind and your own wallet. If you have goals, that's what's so important about stop losses and some of these other things that we're going to teach you, is taking profits and putting stop losses in takes your emotion out of it, and it's only going to help your pocketbook.
Hey, we sell on Amazon. You know what? Anybody that didn't know that, guys, we sell on Amazon. And I can tell you, when I was picking a product, I didn't care what it was.
Nope.
You know what? At the end of the day, hey, I would love to sell things that I'm super interested in. I would love to sell something, you know, Star Wars or something like that, or something Marvel or something like that. A, you know, I can't because I would get, you know, sued by Disney, but also B, everybody else wants to do that too. And you know, you gotta take that part of it out of it and realize, hey, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. You know, if it makes money, that's the most important thing. And you know, again, learn from my mistakes. I document all this stuff on here for you guys, and we talked about it earlier. I love Chainlink. I think it's one of the top projects going. I should have taken profit sooner on that. That's my bad. You know, I fell in love with the project and thought, no, I want to hold as much of this as I can. Doesn't mean you can't go back in and get more of it after the fact, but always be willing to take profit.
And have a list of ones that, you know, I'm only holding in 10 right now, but I've got a list that when I take my profits, I'm not just taking profits and putting it in the United States dollar, because that's kind of a dumb move right now. I'm taking that and I'm buying a different coin with it and letting it grow itself. So have a backup list of things that you want to continue to grow or that you're interested in investing in, and then take your profits and put it into those additional coins.
Yes. Awesome. Well, Derek, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And I appreciate the all the TA stuff that you're going to be doing for us and everything. Guys, look forward to that. We'll be having that this week for sure. So be on the lookout for that. Anybody that wants to start learning some of the stuff regarding trading and everything, definitely be on the lookout for that, because we'll have that coming out this week. And like I said, anybody that loves trivia, we all do. You know, everybody has a vice. That's why we named it Trivia Vice. Everybody has a vice. Why not make your vice trivia? Okay, why not make it something that's good for you and fun? And if you have a lot of just random knowledge and you know a lot of random shit like I do, then this is perfect for you. You know what? Go and do that. Use that random ass knowledge that you have for good, and maybe win some money or some prizes in the process too. So, guys, everybody have a great rest of your night, and watch out for those videos coming out.